It's me, Nasipa, and yet another video format. Pick a lane, you say? No, I want to add to the random postings of my YouTube channel, and today we have artist speed draw content creation. So I was, farting around, as you do, and I was hit with the inspiration to do the same content I watched from Zeppin1, Char, Phoenix Mask, Jinja Ninja, Sketches of Shay, Prickly Alpaca, IBD Illustrates, Picket, Spilled Ink, Owoneko. God, this list is really long, and basically I'm just gonna do it. As some of you are probably aware, ARTFIGHT is commencing right now. What? ARTFIGHT? What's that? Viewer, it was in the title. It's on autoplay. Okay, well, every single one of these types of videos explain what ARTFIGHT is at the beginning anyway, so I guess I'm not really straying from the format. In my own words, I would describe it like this. ARTFIGHT is basically an art gifting game. It's an event that takes place annually for the month of July where there are two teams. This year we have Fossil versus Crystal. I'm on Crystal. And what you do is that you set up your account, make your page, and then draw a bunch of reference sheets of your original characters, and then someone on the other team may find your page, like your OCs, and then attack you. Basically, that means they make an art piece in any medium of your OC and send it to you. That then scores points on their team. You can get revenge on an attack that someone did to you by going to their account and attacking them back. There's also things like mass attacks where you give a bunch of characters in one art piece that scores a bunch of points. But honestly, from what I know, getting points is not most people's goals. I mean, look, it's pretty much a tie every year since the beginning of this freaking event, but I mean, people still do try their best to rack up points. I've known about ARTFIGHT for probably 5 or 6 years, but I never took my art seriously enough to join, nor did I feel like I really had the time. And, well, I still don't take my art seriously, and I still don't have the time, but hey, I want to be included. So that's what this video is. As I post this, there should be a full week of ARTFIGHT by now, and I'm gonna show you everything I've done so far. Maybe, perhaps, perchance, I shall make another video. But it's all up in the air right now. Again, just doing this for fun. I've only got 800 subs right now, so it's not like doing this video is gonna jumpstart my career in content creation. Okay, so this is the part where I tell you about my OCs. Okay, so there's a bit of prep before you start an ARTFIGHT because no one's going to attack you if you don't have any characters, because, they can't. Well, there is this thing that people do where they go, make me an OC. People have, free reign to design a character for that person, which, it's cool, it's very cool, but, I don't need that. But yeah, I have a bunch of OCs. The thing is that they're based off of real people, like my friends. So I kind of had to be careful with what I was putting out on the internet. The first character is the self-insert of me. She's all over my YouTube channel. I mean, hell, she's in that 2-minute long animation I made right before this video you're watching right now. But this is what I have written in the description on my reference sheet. Her name is Katja Brewers. She runs a failing business with her lover, Fox. They sell potions and enchanted weapons and go on various adventures where things always go wrong. Insert the episodic storyline and give it 900 episodes. She's not actually an elf. Elves don't exist in this world. She's a regular old human. But in this world, illusion magic is used for beauty. Elf ears are as common as pierced ears, and usually signify magic users. Kat uses her magic very regularly, oftentimes for menial things like levitation or for comedic effect. The magic comes from the gem she wears. She can do magic without it, but it's harder to limit the output without one. Kind of like a funnel. Other people use staffs and wands, but she didn't want to have to carry one around everywhere. Personality-wise, she's very cheerful and easily inspired, but a massive coward. You could say that's why her business is failing. Not so much shy as she is fearful of the world. Bugs, the dark, a knock at the door, a loud sound, you name it, she's probably afraid of it. And potions take monster parts, so when you need dragon skills but you're afraid of dragons, it gets a little difficult. I love Kat. She is me and I am her. When I was making her, I thought to myself, if I lived in a fantasy world, what would I want to be like? And the answer still hasn't changed. Live in a beautiful town, with a big forest, using magic, living peacefully with my boyfriend. Oh, but what is this? This scenario requires a boyfriend. Well, let me introduce you to my second favorite character, Fox. He represents my boyfriend. Fox is a totally normal, everyday guy. He runs a failing business with his lover, Kat. They sell potions and enchanted weapons and go on various adventures where things always go wrong. Insert the episodic storyline and give it 900 episodes. Okay, you got me. Fox is not a normal guy. He's actually a mutant. who had escaped from a laboratory studying trauma-based magic. He remembers little from his family before being taken, and in those years at that place, the literal only thing he was able to learn was how to fight. One day, things got particularly bad, and his mutant transformation became activated, and a massive scar formed on his left eye. It was then that he escaped from the laboratory. Ever since then, he's been too afraid to activate that form again. If he's able to control it, does that mean their abusive studies were worth it? His magic comes from the gem brooch he wears. He can do magic without it, but it's harder to limit the output without one. Kinda like a funnel. He has a massive amount of magic, and wearing that brooch is extremely important in order to prevent him from transforming or using advanced magic without full control over it. Personality-wise, he's very chill and jokes around a lot, but he has a short temper. He also sometimes comes across as creepy or intimidating, but he really doesn't mean to. Kat sees the person he is on the inside, however, and he loves her. They're in love. They're partners. For a while, I didn't really know what to do with Fox. It's a lot easier coming up with personality characteristics and representing someone in a good light when it's yourself. I will admit, I am scared of everything the way Kat is, but like, I don't want to make my boyfriend look bad when I represent him, because that's the only way I can enjoy my OCs. It's like disrespectful. But I eventually figured it out what to do with him, and now I think he's so cool. What else do I have to say? I have an entire other second speed paint to talk through. I guess I should talk about the design choices. Okay, so with Fox, I wanted him to look charming, but also like he's been through things. He used to be pretty standoffish when you first meet him. He's like a multi-class fighter who can use most weapons super well, so, you know, I wanted him to have some weapons that reflected his design. So we have an axe, a sword, and a dagger, all with the same black on the end. It's kind of like a motif to represent the way a fox tail looks dipped in ink. It's also white because Fox originally had white hair, but now I've made that version of him only come out when he's transformed or using a lot of magic. His eyes also turns white when he does, which you can see in the job offer animation. The job offer animation, though, it takes place when Kat and Fox first meet, so this design isn't the same as how it should look. That's why Kat doesn't wear a witch hat. It's like the idea that if she did while selling potions on the block, people wouldn't take her seriously. Kind of the way like real chefs barely wear the chef hat. I mean, like some of them do, but I mean, okay, I'm a waitress. I don't even think the chefs at the place I work even own one. Whatever, I might be wrong. I don't know. Is this speed paint over yet? This is Fig. He's based off my bestie Kiwi. Shout out to Kiwi. And this is what I have written in his description. This is Fig. He's got a bad case of 8th grader syndrome. He's a traveler, aka homeless and unemployed, and he has very, very weak magical power. What he's really skilled in is illusion magic, which is a pretty common form of magic in this world. He throws punches that don't do any damage, but he uses his illusion magic to make them really flashy and intimidating. Honestly, this guy could go down the path of con man in a few years. Curious about the half-demon look to him? Well, he's actually half-imp, but not in the way you'd expect him to be half-imp. As a wee child, he was out playing when he came across a demon or an imp or something, he wasn't really sure. In an altercation with the creature, it blasted Fig with a burst of magic, transforming the half of him hit with the magic into a demonic form. It's pretty useless though, but it did bestow him with something that makes him unique. A main character complex. After coming to the conclusion that something like this would only happen to the main character, he inferred he must be the main character, and prances through life without a plan, waiting for a magical adventure. Personality-wise, he's dramatic, animated, and inspired. With not many skills to make his life easier, he walks around with crazy bad luck and an even crazier amount of confidence in himself. He can get a little sassy too. The sassy man apocalypse is upon us, and you must be ready for it. That last part kinda makes me cringe, but I'm not fixing it. So this is one of the older characters too. I've known Kiwi just as long as I've known my boyfriend. Anyway, I really like Fig's whole deal, but for a while he kinda just looked like a little boy, so when I was making his ref sheet, I played more on the idea that he was actively traveling. It also makes him look a bit more androgynous, which is always really fun. I also noticed as I was making this one that I wrote a lot more than in the other reference sheets, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, it doesn't take away. Okay, who's next? This is Clyde. He's a solo cowboy with an obsession with horses and anything similar. Be it unicorns, pegasi, hippogriffs, selkies, he cannot stop till he's tamed that thing. He lives alone, far away from most civilization, but that solitude can make anyone lonely, until one day he found the perfect woman, a centaur. Wait, is that a centaur? Turns out it's a shapeshifter. This lonely cowboy found his horse girlfriend. Still lonely though, he's willing to pay people to go on a quest for him. Quest being, hang out with me. Personality-wise, he's extroverted and very confident. He's also down to earth and not afraid to get dirty to achieve what he wants. He's also a big softie. He just wants some friends. Don't get me wrong, those horses are really awesome and fulfilling to tame, but horses can't play poker. This character is based off my friend Wyatt. I've known him longer than Kiwi or Connor, and his character went through the most changes. For such a long time, I had no idea how to represent him, but out of nowhere, I kind of just figured it out. And now I like this character so much that if his personality takes a complete 180, I'm just gonna keep Clyde the way he is. He started out as a mysterious quest giver, but I made him a bit too OP and made his vibe based off of like a hippogriff, so his name was Griff before. He looked a bit too much like Hawks from My Hero Academia, so in order to try to fix that, he briefly turned into Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents. I don't know, Wyatt didn't give me much to work with when I asked him how he wanted to be in a fantasy world. Cue the shapeshifter! This is Mora Forms. She used to be a pretty normal girl, but quite an unlucky one at that. This unlucky maiden used to be a teacher before the worst day of her life happened. No one died. It's just that, well, when you live in a world filled with magic, sometimes you get cursed. And sometimes it can be a lot of curses. This poor girl has been cursed 8 times. Count them, 8. And all by the same freaking wizard too. Every day of the week, she transforms into a different one of her cursed forms, almost like a shapeshifter that can't control their ability. Some of the forms are fine and doable, like the nymph and a naiad, where she sprouts plants from her skin or her hair turns into magical water. Satyr Sundays are also pretty doable. The real problems come from her mermaid form, being forced to retreat to freshwater lakes or flop around on land. And you'd think the harpy form would be awesome, no? Absolutely not! Harpies don't even have hands! Sure, she can fly now, but at the cost of her hands? And don't even get me started on the centaur and sphinx forms. Those forms are so big she can barely get through the door or lay in bed. Oh, and did I mention she has a 1 out of 364 chance of becoming a dragon for the day? Not like a half dragon, like full-on ancient dragon. Like the big ones. Those days are probably the worst. Good thing it's only one day a year though. Mora lives alone, away from society, foraging and growing plants as best she can. It gets so lonely, but who could love someone so cursed? One day, Mora was trotting around in her centaur form looking for berries and other forageables until something felt off. Something was around her. In the bushes, in the trees. She wasn't sure. She began to gallop away. Better safe than sorry. That was until, ow! She falls to the ground. She's tied up in a rope? What is this? Well, she just happened to run into a cowboy. He might as well be the first person in ages to finally accept her. And this cowboy's name is Clyde. If you can't tell, whenever I say the name at the end, it's because I have a link on the bottom of the description. Mora is the newest character. She's based off of my friend Maddie. I have other friends I need to make characters of, but this one came pretty naturally, and you know, you only have so many slots to put your characters in on the little card. The whole birth of this character actually came about in Minecraft text chat, and I drew this whole ref sheet while watching Muppets with Maddie, Kiwi, and Connor. It was quite whimsical, honestly. But the hardest part about this character was trying to figure out her name. I wanted to be reminiscent of like changeling or shapeshifter, but it was hard. So I figured out that a name that sounds like more forms would be funny enough to satisfy me. Hey, it's post-editing Natalie. I didn't realize how long this video was, and I guess that's because I don't have, like, any experience making long-form content, but it is taking me too long to keep working on this. So, I'm just gonna upload part 1, and then I'll finish part 2 even though the timeline's messed up. I just want to get this out today.
So, yeah, sorry. See you in part 2. Bye.